What to do? What's up, y'all? It's your boy Elijah James from Elijah James TV, and I'm bringing y'all another NFL breakdown. We are looking at week 2, and we're looking at a good one. Today, we'll be taking a look at the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Kansas City Chiefs this Sunday at 4:25 p.m. in a Super Bowl rematch. And I think we got a banger on our hands, boys and girls. I think we got a good one coming up. This game was voted by you guys on my Instagram on the poll. Make sure you guys go over to my Instagram at Elijah James TV, where you can vote week to week of what game you want me to break down. I'm taking the popular vote, but hey, this week y'all wanted the Eagles and the Chiefs, so that's what we're gonna do. And I kind of want to do this in the first place. And make sure you like all the content that's on there because I'm posting y'all. Like, we in football season, so we getting this thing rolling. I'm here. Before we get to the video, y'all know the drill, man. Make sure y'all leave a like, make sure that y'all leave a comment, make sure that y'all subscribe, and make sure y'all follow, make sure y'all share this thing. Whatever you gotta do to get this page jumping, let's do it because we all rolling now. We in NFL season, so we here. But let's not waste any more time, man. Let's go ahead and get straight to it. So like I said, we got the Philadelphia Eagles traveling over to Kansas City to take on the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl rematch. And I looked at, those week 1 games, the Chiefs taking on the Chargers, and then the Eagles taking on my Dallas Cowboys. Yes, y'all, I'm a Cowboys fan, unfortunately. But I took a look at both of those games and I pulled away some things, and I think I got a winner in this game, but it is gonna be a close game. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's gonna be very close. But I think I got a gauge of who I think is gonna win this game. So how the way we're gonna go through this video, we're gonna break down team each by each, talk about what I seen from week 1, what I like, what I didn't like, what I think the weaknesses are gonna be, and so on and so forth. So I'm honestly just gonna be talking, and leave a comment down below if you agree with what I'm saying. If you think I'm an idiot, let me know. Just talk to me, man. Like, I'm here. I'm a man of the people. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get this thing started with the Philadelphia Eagles side. I hate talking about the Eagles. Like I said, I'm a Cowboys fan and Eagles fan. Y'all talk about the Cowboys fans are annoying, and we are. Do not get me wrong, we are. But Eagles fans are just as fucking annoying. I don't care what nobody said. They are annoying as shit. But anyways, let's go ahead and start talking about the Eagles. So in that Eagles game, week 1, it was a Thursday night football game in Philadelphia against the Dallas Cowboys. Let's start with the obvious. Jalen Carter, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing, bro? Dak Prescott is a way better man than me because, bro, they would have had to drag me and you off that field, bro. What is you doing spitting in people's face? I don't know what's being going on with this spitting in the face shit with Jalen Carter and dude at UF, but that shit got to stop, bro. That is so disrespectful. Anyways, let's go ahead and get back to the game. So I was watching the game, and I'm going to tell y'all, I'm going to speak from a Dallas Cowboy fan perspective. I was expecting for us to lose that game. I thought we was about to get our ass whooped. But after Jalen Carter decided to be a genius and get himself thrown out, I was like, okay, like, we might be working with something. And it was evident in that first drive. They missed his presence down in that D-line. We was able to run the ball. I'm saying we like I play for the team. The Cowboys was able to run the ball on the Eagles and move the ball actually pretty well. They're able to get 2 back-to-back rushing touchdowns off of it. And what that tells me, I don't think the Eagles D-line is that same D-line that we've seen chasing Mahomes all around the field in last year's Super Bowl. They did lose some pieces. I know they lost Josh Sweat. They lost Darius Slay in the back end. They lost C.J. Gardner-Johnson in the back end as well. They lost some key pieces that was a part of that Super Bowl winning defense, and now I think it's going to rear its ugly head this season. And it showed. I mean, I know CD had those drives at the end of the game, but he was still able to put up 110 yards. And don't get me wrong, Dak Prescott was able to throw all over him, to be honest. The pass rush was not getting there as it usually does. But I think that's more of a testament of the Cowboys O-line getting better, more so than the Eagles D-line getting worse, because I do think the Eagles still have a good D-line. When it comes to that D-line, they was getting moved around by the Dallas O-line. Like I said, as a Cowboys fan, I know that they did a lot of retooling with that offensive line, so it's going to be a lot better than people are expecting. That's going to be a sneak peek for a Cowboys breakdown if we ever get to one. Yeah, the Dallas O-line is way better than people think. They were able to push against that Eagles defense, and I think a big part of that is because Jalen Carter was out of the game. Like, Jalen Carter is such a baller that he makes such a big difference in the game. So him not being there, I'm not going to put too much stock into the Cowboys moving the ball as well as they did, but like it was pretty evident that the Eagles D-line lost some firepower. Eagles DBs, I think they really are vulnerable right now with losing those key DBs that they had on the back end. The best DB they got is obviously Quinyon Mitchell, and he did his thing, but like that, you're gonna need way more than Quinyon Mitchell and the quote-unquote exciting whites, as people call them, Cooper DeJean and Blankenship. You're gonna need way more than that if you're thinking about competing, especially at a higher level. Don't get me wrong, the Eagles is still one of the top 3 teams in the NFC, but they're just not that same team from last year. And keep in mind, y'all, as I'm going through this video will be really quick. I don't like looking at last year to gauge what I think is going to happen for the rest of the year because it's a whole new season. We got 1 week of film to look at. So this video is going to be kind of short. So now let's look over to the offensive side of the Eagles. The Eagles offensive side, I will say, they still got that firepower. Saquon is still a top 3 running back. Jalen Hurts, I think, is going to be playing with even more confidence this year. Now that he got that championship ring, I think he's going to be playing with a lot more confidence. And it showed in that Cowboys game. He looked real decisive. He didn't make any mistakes. He didn't look rushed in any way, shape, or form. One thing I didn't like was that Jalen Hurts couldn't get the ball to his receivers outside of Dallas Goedert. But he wasn't able to get the ball like that to A.J. Brown, to Devontae Smith. He did find Dotson a couple of plays for a big play, but I think that's more so because the defense was focused on those two more than it was focused on Jahan Dotson. So with that offense, a lot of people didn't like the fact that Jalen Hurts was running the ball a lot. And obviously they keep calling him a running back and so on and so forth. That man is a quarterback, man. That man is built like a running back. Do not get me wrong, but he's a quarterback and you can see it. But people didn't like the fact that he kept tucking and running. But if you watch the game, you see Hurts go through his progressions first before he just tucks and runs. He only tucked and run immediately if he had that pressure on him. And he did get pressured a couple of times because, like I said, this Eagles team is not the same Eagles team from that Super Bowl run. But I will admit, I think they still have one of the best O-lines, if not the best O-line in the NFL. So, and Dallas don't really got too much on the D-line anyway. So Hurts had all day to throw the football, and he had opportunities to run and everything like that. So the offense was able to get rolling, no issue. But with that defense, it didn't have that same pass rush that we seen at them, harassing Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. And that was evident because Dak had a plenty amount of time to complete passes to the receivers. And if you know football, the longer it takes for the defensive line to create a pass rush or generate any type of pressure, that puts a lot of stress on the back side of the defense with the DBs. So the longer it's going to take for the D-line to, make Dak feel some type of pressure, that left a lot of receivers open and it put a lot of the DBs in a bad spot. But with that offense, you could definitely tell that Kellen Moore's presence is still felt there. They keep trying to say, oh, it was a combination of Kellen Moore and Nick Sirianni coming. That was Kellen Moore's offense, y'all. That was Kellen Moore's offense, and you can still see that Nick Sirianni is definitely still keeping some of those philosophies. And I kind of don't blame him because as a Cowboys fan, we had Kellen Moore as our offensive coordinator. He did a hell of a job calling plays for us. He had Dak have one of his best seasons where he was almost an MVP. What was that, 2 years ago? So I believe that Kellen Moore offense is still going to be well and alive in Philadelphia. And then can I be real, y'all? Like maybe this is the fan of me. Maybe it's me just being a biased Cowboys fan. But can we keep it a buck? If that weather delay didn't happen, and obviously if Miles Sanders didn't fumble the football, but if that weather delay did not happen, I kind of low-key think the Cowboys could have won that game. If not win the game, it was going to be close for sure. I mean, the game ended up being close anyway, but I think that weather delay really threw off the rhythm of everybody, not just the Cowboys, but the Eagles as well. But, like I said, maybe I'm just a biased Cowboys fan, but I think the Cowboys could have won that game. All right, so now that we're done with the Eagles, thank God I ain't got to talk about them no more. Let's move on to a worser of the evil. Let's go ahead and talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. So the Chiefs took on the Chargers in Brazil in a Friday night game, and it was a weird game. Don't get me wrong, but one thing that I could say about the Chiefs, this is not the same thing how I said about the Eagles. This is not the same Chiefs team from last year either. The receiving core is banged up. Rashee Rice is suspended. Xavier Worthy took that random ass hit from Travis Kelce, so they're banged up. I think their best receiver right now is Hollywood Brown and Juju, if you don't count Travis Kelce. The run game wasn't doing what it needed to do. Isaiah Pacheco was getting stopped a little bit. And in the first half, Mahomes just looked off. He looked like he wasn't able to connect with his receivers how he usually does. But if I'm being honest, I think that's more so a testament to the Chargers defense, more so than the Kansas City offense being ass. Because let's be real, y'all. Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid is probably still the most dangerous duo in the NFL. You got Andy Reid with his creative play calling, and Patrick Mahomes he's Patrick Mahomes. One thing I would say about the offense just didn't look in sync. It's a regular saying that it takes the offense a little bit of time to get going. Like the saying is the defense will always be more ahead than the offense at the start of the season. So I understand that aspect, but still, the Chiefs offense did not look good. They looked out of sync. They couldn't move the ball at all. They couldn't get that same, they didn't have that same oomph to them. I don't even know if that's really, they didn't have that same, you get what I'm saying? That Chiefs offense didn't look the same. However, though, that Chiefs offense that came out in the second half, now that's what we're more accustomed to. And I want to talk more about that. So the Chiefs offense in the second half, you see them now, they're starting to move the ball a lot easier, a lot better. The O-line was able to hold up the Chargers defense, the D-line, because in the first half, they were getting after Mahomes. That was making them really uncomfortable, but I don't know what Andy Reid or whoever said to that O-line in the locker room, but it seemed like they tightened up their protection. And we seen that, Juju finally stepped up. Hollywood Brown stepped up in the second half as well. They were able to run the ball a little bit. Mahomes started being Mahomes, and don't lie. Please don't lie. A lot of people were scared that they was about to come back and win that game until the Chargers scored that last touchdown in the fourth quarter. But a lot of people felt that a Chiefs comeback was on the way once Patrick Mahomes ran in that touchdown. Now, looking over to the defensive side, the same thing with the Eagles. The defense, it doesn't look the same. The D-line doesn't get that same push as they did before. It was a really quiet game out of Chris Jones, and that's just weird to say. Chris Jones is usually, he usually jumps off your screen, but I know he's getting doubled or maybe triple teamed sometimes, but Chris Jones was extremely quiet in that first game. And maybe it's because it was the first game, people got to, get used to being back out there and everything. But Chris Jones was really quiet. I didn't see him do anything at all, to be truly honest. One player that stuck out to me that did jump off my screen is Drew Tranquil. Hey, that man was all over the place. He is a dog. The man got injured in the third quarter, I believe. I think it was the third, or maybe it was the beginning of the fourth quarter. He still got back in there and still got a sack on Justin Herbert. Drew Tranquil is a dog, man. He really played his ass off. You still got Trent McDuffie out there at corner, so he's always going to shut shit down on his side. But yeah, I don't know what it is. This defense just doesn't look the same as it did in years past. They look a lot more vulnerable than usual. But the one thing that I would say, both on the offensive side of the Chiefs and the defensive side of the Chiefs, is their coaches are some of the best coaches, if not the best coaches in the NFL. You got Andy Reid, one of the best play callers of all time, running the offense. And then you guys, Spagnuolo, running that defense, putting up exotic blitzes and things like that. And let's be real, that defense was showing up in that second half that even made it a game in the first place for the Chiefs to get back in it. But, I just felt like, it was the Chargers' time. The Chargers was more ready. The offense was flowing, and they got the win. But this is my take on that game. I think this was more of a Chargers showcase than it being the Chiefs being bad, because the Chargers did look way better. Justin Herbert finally actually did something. I'm getting tired of him being rated so high because what if? They call him if man. No, Justin Herbert actually did something for once and actually put up a good game. But I know that was a pretty quick breakdown of both teams, but it's week one and I'm not going to go into too much detail because we ain't got that much tape. But now let's move on to the prediction. So if I'm being objective, if you want my honest opinion, I think the Eagles are a better team and they will be a better team later on in the season. However, you got to think, this is a Super Bowl rematch where the Chiefs got their ass whipped by the same team. Now the Chiefs are going into Arrowhead. Patrick Mahomes just came off of a loss. The Chiefs do not want to go down 0-2 to start the year. The Eagles got their one win, so they might be a little content, and they we beat this team. We tore their ass up in the Super Bowl. So I'm not going to say they're going to be taking them lightly because it is still the Chiefs, but I think the sense of urgency is going to be more so on the side of the Chiefs than it will be on the Eagles this Sunday. So for my prediction, I think I got the Chiefs winning this game, and I think it's going to be a pretty close one. I think it's going to be a defensive game. It's going to be a battle of the coaches. It's going to be Sirianni versus Reid. So for a final score, I'm taking that this score is I don't know, because it can go one of two ways. It could either be a high scoring game. I'm talking about 37 to 30 type. Or it could be, there's going to be some scoring, but the defense is going to start showing up. I could see it easily being like a 27-23 type of game as well. But all in all, regardless of what the score is, I do got the Chiefs winning this Sunday afternoon. They need a win. There's absolutely no way that a Chiefs team led by Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid goes down 0-2 to begin the season. I think that sense of urgency, they're going to clean some stuff up. I believe Xavier Worthy is going to be back in the lineup on Sunday, but even if not, I think the Chiefs are going to find a way to win this game. Whether it be with voodoo magic as they're known for, or it would just be a straight up beatdown, I don't think it's going to be a beatdown, but regardless, I think the Chiefs win this game on Sunday. But yeah, y'all, that's all I got for you. It's week 2. I mean, I need more tape to give y'all some more information. I don't want to, be talking about last season because last season's over with. Whole new season. Both of these teams I broke down, the Eagles and the Chiefs, they look completely different. So all that last season shit is out the window. So I know this video is a little bit short, but this is what I got. And I feel pretty confident in this Chiefs pick. I got a whole bunch of friends that's some Eagles fans. And you know I'm a Cowboys fan, so they think I'm just hating, but a little piece of me is hating because fuck the Eagles. Nah, I sincerely do think that the Eagles are a better team than the Chiefs, but the Chiefs need this win, and I think they're about to go out and go ahead and do it. But that's gonna do it, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Really quick video. Didn't want to keep y'all for too long. Just keep it nice, short, and sweet. Just make sure that y'all go ahead and follow my Instagram at ElijahJamesTV. That's also the same thing on Facebook. Make sure you follow the TikToks where I'll be posting, shorter clips of this video at easy_1K. Follow that Instagram so you could vote on next week's game. I'll be putting a poll up every Tuesday or Monday afternoon after the Monday night game, in between that time. So just look out for the poll Monday or Tuesday so y'all can vote on the game that y'all want me to break down next. That's all I got for y'all. I'm out of here, man. But I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. That's the video for today. Leave a like, leave a comment, please subscribe, and follow all those socials that I mentioned earlier. I'll see y'all next week for next week's breakdown. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Peace.